Yeah, so Cardano definitely had this great move up. We saw it really outperforming all the rest of the cryptocurrencies. What I'm happy about with the Cardano chart is that it hasn't retraced the entire amount, right? It's only retraced a portion of that move. Yeah, so Cardano definitely had this great move up. We saw it really outperforming all the rest of the cryptocurrencies. What I'm happy about with the Cardano chart is that it hasn't retraced the entire amount, right? It's only retraced a portion of that move. That's telling me there's still buyers even when crypto has turned back down. And if we flip over to Bitcoin, you can see that Bitcoin had a good move up, but it's basically returned to where it was prior to that up move versus Cardano. So I'm optimistic on Cardano. I'm not sure the exact reasoning behind the great move, but I think again that Cardano is a bigger cryptocurrency that should get a second look from investors, even in times like this, based on what the chart is doing. Yeah, so I'm actually looking to short energy stocks. I'm short Exxon right now. One of the things to keep in mind here, and let me show you this chart here. I think it's a fantastic chart to kind of put it in perspective. And you guys know, from me, I don't care what the news is. I don't care necessarily the hype. It's what is the chart truly telling me, because the chart is the purest form of honesty when it comes to things. It doesn't have emotion. It is what it is. And what you can see with Exxon here is you have this longer term trend line, which has definitely been inclining, but look at how you hit it right here and had this sharp pullback. Then you hit it right here again. The idea here is we should have a pullback as well on Exxon. And at the very least, it should be at least the depth of this. I actually think you could even be seeing maybe a longer term top that could bring Exxon down to this price here, which is around $67. That's a big percentage drop. But again, it makes a lot of sense. You're connecting these lows, you get the top by connecting these highs. It's kind of a megaphone pattern. And again, a bigger correction in oil certainly would bring us down here. So I'm in the camp where you have to think about it in terms of being a contrarian here. Everyone is telling you, oh, energy is just going to keep going up. I'm in the opposite camp, basically because the charts are telling me to be so. So everything that cryptocurrency is trying to do right now is trying to build confidence, right? It's trying to lure in bigger investors, bigger money, bigger institutions. And when you have certain situations like Terra Luna going down to essentially under a penny and the UST collapsing as well, it shakes the market and it makes people not want to trust crypto, even something like Bitcoin that has a longer track record. So I think it's a very big negative. I think you need, and I'm such a big proponent of this, you need regulation in the space. You can't allow things like this to happen. And I think if you're a Bitcoin or cryptocurrency advocate, you have to be an advocate for regulation if you want the crypto space to lure bigger and bigger money and more people in. Because again, think about it like this, if you have your grandma or your grandpa, you can't look at them and say, hey, invest some of your retirement funds in a situation where it could be a Terra Luna. So you need to have protections in place to kind of make people feel more confident. And I think that means that technology is under pressure, but I also think that there is value there. So for instance, I'm net bearish on Apple because I think the PE ratio is still way too high in the 20s. But if you look at something like a Meta or a Netflix or even a Google Alphabet, yeah, I think gold continues to be the best hedge, right? And if you look at asset prices, I mean, people have wanted to say, oh, it's Bitcoin or certain types of stocks. But in reality, I think that gold is the safest in an inflationary environment. It's the best performer when looking at Bitcoin or the stock market. So I continue to think gold in this environment is the safest place. You're not going to make a fortune on gold, but it holds your value. You're holding your money and actually making a small amount on it per the returns this year.